Here we've got Big Al's VC ute. There's quite a story to this ute. It was built by his cousin many years ago in the late 70s out of a K10 Charger. Now Al's acquired it now, or it's been sitting after many years out in the farm shed. We'll show you some pics there later on. And this thing is just really cool. I'm going to give you a bit of a tour of it. Had the K10 265 and 4-speed in it. Was apparently a bit of a weapon in its day. The young bloke was an apprentice at the local Chrysler dealership, and he knocked it up with all the good bits he could find. So let's have a bit of a look. This thing is just awesome. What can I say? I love it. Now have a look at this radiator setup. This is a Holden radiator, still got the General Motors Holden sticker on the top of it. He's actually cut the full radiator support out. You can see the holes line up in the radiator support there where she's fitted. If it wasn't absolutely covered in hornet's nest, it would sit in there nice and flush, but have a go at that. You gotta love it. You can see where he's had the bottom tank modified, where the outlet used to be there. It's been changed to the other side for the Hemi. I'm going to go with the engine mounts. That's the left hand side one. They've just slotted it here. Looks like on this side we've had just a section out of a Hemi K-frame welded in, and away we went. Rough and ready, but it worked. That's all it had to do. So she's quite a cool thing. Quite a cool thing with quite a lot of history. Continue on down here. It's amazingly straight. The body is just great on the thing. It's got very little rust in it. It's sat in a shed for many years. You've got to love these stickers. Look, wholly equipped. Do it in the dirt with Blue Molly. Impala Performance products. She's had the usual checker plate fitment in the floor. The timber's generally long gone in them, but the body itself is great. Check out inside it. This is the thing that I really love. She has been decked out. Look at the press studs and the black vinyl. You know, you got to love that. What's not to love? Seriously. Had the floor hump put in. A bit of butchering around the floor pan to make some clearance. But anyway, look at this. December 1979 was the last label on her. So that's how long she sat around in a shed for. Gotta love the Smith gauges in the dash. We've got a Smith's tacho, really nice little Smith's tacho up on the dash up the top here. I don't know whether you can actually get in there and see it or not, but that's a sweet little gauge. We've had the same thing here. A couple of gauges. We've got a Smith clock in there. Had the switch relocation set up. Look at this. So he's done all that to be able to stick the gear in there where the switches were. Look how solid the floor is in the thing. It's just beautiful. A couple of cracks around there. She actually had the K10 Charger bucket seats in her as well, which come with the deal. You got to love this harness. Now have a look at this. This, I think it looks like two rear sash belts. And they've had a little bit of modification done, so we've got sewn together there. She's bolted to the thing up here, 2 adjusters. So I imagine the bottom sections here would have been bolted back under the tunnel there, like so. That one would have been bolted back to that corner. This one come up and clipped around your waist, like so. Hang on, we'll just get him untwisted. That would have come in and clipped around your waist. It appears to have all been built out of, I'd say probably the seat belts out of the Charger they scrapped for the build. But yeah, that's quite cool again. Just what the boys did when they were young fellas, you know. I love it. It's had a quick coat of black paint on the hood lining by the look of that. But you got to love the vinyl and the press studs, like period correct or what? Again, she's just really solid, this thing. It's a great thing. The sills, the plenums, the floors, everything in it. Such a... Oh, you gotta love that door hinge swing, haven't you? Look at the tailgate. It's got a wagon rear bar on it. That's copped a bit of a hard time, but it's an AP wagon rear bar. A little bit pressed for room. Have a look down that side of it. The thing is in great nick. It really is. Without the story, without how cool it is, without the K10 running gear, it's just a great VC ute. So here we've got the gearbox off it. It's, you will see a few pics, but the bell housing was chock-a-block full of hornet's nests. It's now been cleaned up and It's looking quite good. It looks quite nice and neat inside. This is the K10. I love the fact that he's got the big long runner manifold on it that's still running the original exhaust manifold. It, still all looks ridgy-dig. I don't think it's actually been opened. Might have had the head off it. But other than that, she still looks all correct. Still got the K10 on the front of the timing cover. Oh, well, just. That's something you don't see too often and it's never been painted. I don't know whether we can see it or not. No, we haven't got enough light, but the K10 number is there. I'll get a picture of it later and flick it up. She did have the dirty big 4-barrel Holly and that on it. I reckon it would have went like a scum cat when it was in its day. Would have been quite a bit of gear. You gotta love the air cleaner. I think it's actually an original Weber air cleaner that has had a cover made and a base made. Hey, cockies for you, mate. Bush mechanics at its best, just like the Radiator. Just make it work. And that's exactly what they did. So that's about the lowdown on the old girl. There's the bonnet off her. She was originally white, and the young fella got it painted at some stage. There we've got the bumper and the grille, oh, the framing for the grille cross member. There's the K10 seats. All come with it. She had the period correct old hot wires on her from the day. They all come with it. It's a great thing. It's just a great thing. It's more bits and pieces. Ella's got a score here, I do believe. And you gotta love hanging around in the shed. I mean, check it out. There's just good stuff everywhere. Alright, so here's a little bit more of the story. This AP6 ute, you'll well, when you have a look in here, you will see some similarities. Press studs in the door trims, black vinyl, gauges in the dash, floor shift hole, you know, someone's loved it. So the story goes that this belonged to Al's cousin's mate. The boys started their apprenticeship the same day at the local Chrysler dealership, and they built 2 utes. Ironically, they're now both in the same spot. Sadly, this one was left out in the weather, so it's not in great condition. But yes, these boys used to get around together in these 2 Valiant utes, terrorising the town back in the day. That's like I said, it's quite ironic that they both ended up here, but a little bit cool. You gotta love it. And no doubt the boys would have had a ball in them in their teenage years. Right. There you go. She even had a bit of a vent in the bonnet, this fella. Good stuff. You gotta love it. Look at that on the left side of it. It's a great thing. The body's solid as. It's very straight. It's only got a couple of little rubs here and there. Very little rust. It's going to be a great thing once again. I'd hate to see it painted and restored. I'd love to see it just brought back to what it was. It's to see it in all its glory would have been amazing. Would have been a weapon. And, you know, they reckon 120 mile an hour in a heartbeat, no problem at all. With drum brakes, mind you. It never ever had disc brakes fitted, never ever got changed to late pattern. She still had the old VC drums all round. Early pattern wheels. Old period correct hot wires are there. Look at that, they're beautiful. Still in the early pattern. I said it's had the checker plate put in the rear, but the rear is still very solid. It's just a great old ute. Just a great old ute. And the story makes it even better. And the period stickers, that's just so cool. So cool. Yeah, that Molly Blue, do it in the dirt with Molly Blue. I'm not even sure what Molly Blue was, but anyway, it's one of them things. Up in there, looks like we've got a little bit up in the corner, but the rest of the floor looks really solid in the thing. So yeah, I really love this old ute. This is one of the things that's cracked me up. The actual pins for the lower control arms are still in the K-frame, and I thought that was a bit odd. I thought that's a bit unusual for them pins to be still in there, you know. And then Al showed me the lower control arms, and I went, oh yeah, well that's probably got something to do with it. That's why the pins are still there. And then he pulled out a brake drum. Now, I was talking about this thing doing 120 mile an hour in a heartbeat. There's probably a 5mm lip on that brake drum. The boys had balls of steel, I'm telling you. She would have been a wild ride back in the day, no doubt. But you got to love it. Like I said, the young cocky engineering on that radiator, you know, it's just beautiful. Like I said, the boys just did what they had to do to make it work. And make it work they did. Like I said, she was a bit of a legend in the day and a bit of a weapon apparently. And put the wind up a few people in the passenger seat, so I've heard, down the dirt roads at 100+ miles an hour. But you've got to love it. Like I said, we're gonna work on it. I'm gonna give Al a hand. We're gonna see if we can get her back to what she was. So look forward to more. Cheers. Have a good one. Please like and subscribe and do what you got to do. There's a bell you got to tingle or something like that. But anyway, have a good one, and we'll see you next time. And this is Al's joint. You would have seen it on some of the other videos. There's quite a bit of gear laying around. It's the Sherwood capital of central western New South Wales, I think. There's quite a few of them laying in the piles. And some other stuff.
How not smoking you be a good recap.